You're on mute.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, doing well.
So, ready for the presentation?
Yeah, so am I sharing or is someone driving for me?
So,
I
you
can
want
drive.
to, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, my colleague will help you with sharing. Okay. So,
Yeah.
firstly, happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Happy International Women's Day to you as well.
Thank you. So,
Oh, so I guess, can you see my screen now?
yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm ready. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me today. My name is Dr. Linda Jordan, and we're going to be talking about excuses that are preventing you from living your best life. So, just tell you a little bit of who I am. I'm a wife, mother, and breast cancer survivor. I am the CEO of a nonprofit, which is called Breast Cancer Angel Network. I'm an author, I'm a coach, trainer, speaker, I'm a politician. Um, and that's pretty much about me. One of the things that there's a little bit more about me of who I am. But most importantly, I'm a real estate investor. And that's one of the things that I'll talk a little bit more about today regarding how we are allowing our excuses to get in our way of living our best life and doing what we enjoy doing the most. So, eliminating your fears to eliminate the excuses so that you can live your best life. Did you know that the average person makes 6 excuses per day of why they can't do something? Now, according to my calculations, that's 2,190 excuses or missed opportunities in your health, in your business, in your life, but most importantly, in your bank account. You see, I was not always a person who was fearless or didn't have excuses. There were times when I struggled with, trying to make a decision of what I wanted to do and not coming up with excuses. And we all make excuses. I mean, how many of you raise your hands? If you made an excuse this morning why you didn't want to get up when you heard that alarm clock, how many of you hit that snooze button? We all make excuses. It's just a natural thing that we do. And there are 3 common excuses that we tell ourselves every single day. We as women, mostly, we have 3 common excuses. Number one, we tell ourselves that we don't have enough money to do what it is that we want to do. We tell ourselves that we don't have enough time to get things done. We've got so much stuff to do. We're taking care of so many other people. Oftentimes we forget to take care of ourselves. And thirdly, we don't know, or we don't know how, or we don't know who to connect with. So these are the 3 common excuses that we tell ourselves of why we cannot get things done. Now, most of the time, we're doing this because there are 3 fears that get in the way of our success. And these are roadblock blocks, these are limiting beliefs that we have come to believe so much that it just prevents us from being really successful. So, the first one I'll go over is that fear of failure. Now, how many of you have ever sensed or had the fear of failure? Whether you're starting a business or whether you're working in corporate America, we all experience fear. And as women, we may have a fear if we are in corporate America. We have that fear of we want to apply for that higher level position, but maybe we're not sure if we have the right skills or maybe we're not ready. So we're fearful to apply because we don't want to be number 2, which has fallen to the fear of rejection. Everybody wants to be successful. No one wants to be rejected or no one wants to fail. So we find ourselves oftenly pulling away because we don't want to be rejected. Unfortunately, society has been a part of that. We see that there's so much success going on in the world, and we oftentimes compare ourselves to other individuals. So, we as women compare ourselves to other individuals, and that prevents us from doing what we need to do. And then we may tell ourselves sometimes that I'm not good enough. So, again, stop comparing yourselves to other people because you are good enough. And these three fears prevent us from doing what it is that we want to do. It prevents us from being successful. It allows us to stay comfortable in that comfort zone because we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to go through that fear again of, not being successful, not doing it what we need to do. And so we find ourselves creating excuses because of all these fears that we do have. So, what I'm going to do in the next 20 minutes or so is just to walk you through my 5 step formula of overcoming these mental blocks that you may be facing, mental blocks that I have faced in my journey, or mental blocks that you may be facing right now at this very moment. So, I want to talk with you about that. But first, I'll share a story with you to put some context to that. I worked in corporate America for 27 and a half years, and I was trying to get to that 30-year goal, but it did not happen that way. Throughout my journey in corporate America, I oftentimes faced fears, challenges. Being a female of color in leadership, sometimes I was not the first to get opportunities. So I had to raise my hand a lot so that that would happen. What I found myself doing, though, was not raising my hand as much. And if that's you, if that's ever been something that you've gone through, raise your hand because we find ourselves pulling ourselves back away because someone else may be more vocal because maybe you're introverted. And so you don't want to say something unless it's going to be accepted. And so I found myself sometimes not making comments in leadership meetings because I was overthinking what I had to say rather than just saying it and not allowing those fears to hold me back. So, this 5 step formula of overcoming mental blocks, my goal is that if you just grab one nugget out of this session today, then my job here is done. Step one, you need to have the right mindset. Always have a positive attitude. How do we turn lemons into lemonade? And some of you may say, well, that's a cliche. Well, yes, it is, but it is so possible. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, to me, that was lemons automatically. I was not expecting it. I was not prepared. I was sitting in my office doing paperwork, and I knew that the doctor was going to call at some point, but I didn't know what day, what time, or anything of that nature. And it was on a Friday. It was December the 4th of 2014. And I had just finished a staff meeting. It was after lunch, and I was kind of getting my day all wrapped up sitting in my office, and the phone rang. It was my cell phone, and it was the doctor's office. So automatically, when I saw the number, I had to take a deep breath because I knew they were calling to give me results, and I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But I was prepared. And when they said, we need to see you in the office, could you come this afternoon? I'm thinking my heart's palpitating. So I go. And then when I get there, they tell me of the diagnosis that it is breast cancer. So immediately my mindset was going to the negative. This is happening to me. But by the time I got home and I talked to my husband and I called my brothers and sisters, I'm from a large family. So I called them all. They live within 2 hours of me. And by the time I got home with that evening, all of them had arrived. And by the time we got together, had discussions, had prayer, I'm a faithful person, religious person. So if I offend anyone, my apologies. But it helped me to be in the right mindset. And it helped me to gain a positive attitude about life, about the situation that I was dealing with. And so at that very moment, I turned those lemons into lemonade. And I made the decision that I was going to retire early from corporate America and I was going to focus on my health. And I was going to start a business because I enjoy helping people. That's something I always wanted to do. So there was the opportunity. And so when people ask me about my mindset, having that right mindset to walk away from corporate to start a business, I tell them that, I was blessed with breast cancer. And that's what helped me to dig deep, to figure out who I was, but most importantly, to figure out how to pull that positivity and that positive attitude out, but also how to maintain that mindset. Because had I taken the wrong approach, I could have, done something totally different, and my outcome may have been very differently. So turning lemons into lemonade, whatever that is for you, and it may not be breast cancer that you're going through, and hopefully it is not, but maybe there's another situation that you're going through that's preventing you from being in that right mindset. Maybe it's friends or family that may have told you that you have this great idea and they said, "Oh, why are you going to do that? Because you're not going to be successful. Don't waste your money." And when people tell you that, that changes your mindset. What I want to tell you today is don't allow that to prevent you from living your best life, from living the dream that you want to have. Turn those lemons into lemonade. Surround yourself with like minded individuals. And remember that attitude is a choice. So that is step number one. Step number two, set goals for yourself. Now, yes, we all do goals at the first of every year. And, you probably have said, like I have many times, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And this year, I'm going to start January 1. And then life happens. And when life happens, we don't have that opportunity. Things change. And so, what I want you to do is to set some realistic goals for yourself. Just the top three. Don't come up with this 15 list because we know when we create a long list, chances are we're not going to achieve it. So set yourself up for success. Create your top three goals. Then I want you to identify why those goals are important to you and what do you need to do differently to achieve those goals that you didn't do last year. So that is step two. Once you complete those goals, I want you to place them in a space where you can see them frequently, daily. Because if you create a goal and you put it in a book or you put it in a binder, you probably won't open that until you go to that binder again, or you may not remember what page you wrote it on. So tear it out, place it someplace so you can see it. I have mine placed in my office because I'm in my office every day and I can walk by and see it. And then every month I look at it. What have I done to achieve these goals? So that's step number two. Step number three is to be consistent, be disciplined, and be committed. So being consistent means it's just like planting a flower or a seed or an item in your vegetable garden, whatever you want to call it. But be consistent. Once you plant a seed, in order for that seed to grow, you have to have patience. You have to water it. You have to pull the weeds away from it. And you got to make sure that you keep the soil around the plant. So you want to value the growth of that plant, just like you're going to value and nurture your goals. And always start small. Don't come up with these big, hairy, audacious goals because we know we're not going to achieve them. So start small, but treat it like a seed. And as you nourish that seed, you will start to see it grow. And as it grows, it'll start to flower and produce fruit or vegetable, whatever you have planted. So know that when you're consistent with your goals, it will do the same thing. As you nurture your goals, And as you check off everything that you've done to get to success, you will start to see it flourish. Opportunities will come your way that you never thought about because you are networking with like minded individuals. You're connected with individuals who think just like you, who are in an environment that you want to be in. So think of it that way. Start small, nurture, nurture, nurture. Be consistent in all that you do. The second part of step number 3 is to be disciplined and committed. Commitment can change your life. It can help you overcome challenges that you may be facing and will help you overcome fear. So, I don't really have a fear of heights. I love roller coasters. I did when I was much younger. So I really didn't have a fear of heights. But when it's really, really high, yes, I do. So I would go on roller coasters to get rid of that fear. And if you've ever think about it, as you're going up the roller coaster and you hear that click, 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 and when you get to the very top, you hold your breath because you know you're getting to come down really, really fast. And that's how it is when you follow step 3 in your discipline and your commitment. It may take you a little while to get to the top of your journey, but when you get there, the rest is so easy. You're coming downhill and you feel the breeze, you feel the pit in your stomach of excitement because you know what's going to happen. So, what I want for you is to be disciplined, to be committed, to be consistent, and it will happen for you. And that fear of failure will also go away. Step number 4, stimulate your mindset. Now, we have 2 types of mindsets, there's the fixed and there's the growth. So, number 1 is to get out of your comfort zone. You need to become uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah, it's a cliche, but it is so true. Because if you keep doing the same thing you've always done, you'll get the same results that you've always gotten. And if you're ready for growth, then you need to change that. You need to get into what I call the learning zone. You know, take a class or take up a craft or network with other individuals in different type of settings, but start to, change that mindset. And in order to do that, you've got to put new information in here. New information in here is the key. And your mindset will start to grow. That could be from reading a book or doing different types of brain games. But you need to generate your mindset in a positive way with new information and release the old mindset of being fixed, not wanting to change because you don't want to. In some cases, as technology changes, as the world changes, we have to also change. So stimulate your mindset and then finally get into the growth zone. So you're going to get out of your comfort zone, you're going to learn more, and you're start growing your mindset. As you grow your mindset, you grow your business, whether that's being an entrepreneur or whether that's working in the corporate space. It works for both. Now, step number 5, it's all about taking action. And taking action means, for me, what is your GPA for success? I don't mean your grade point average. You need to believe in yourself. So, GPA for me stands for what are your goals, what is your plan, and what is your course of action for success? I also like to think of it as this way: bet on yourself. So, when you're creating your GPA for success, you need to bet on yourself. Number 1, believe that you can do it. Believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. You've got to want it so bad, like you need air to breathe. When I started my business, I wanted it so bad. I was sitting in my living room with my laptop, and I'm going through my recovery from breast cancer surgery. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I've retired from work. I've been working for almost 30 years. What am I going to do with myself? I knew I wanted to start a business, but I wasn't sure what and I wasn't sure how. So I had to really think deep and believe in myself and constantly tell myself that I could do it. Now, as I said before, excuses, no lack of money, no time, and I don't know how or don't know who. That was me. I wasn't sure what to do, but I believed in myself and I figured it out. Now, I had to do a lot of things the hard way because I'm learning. But when you learn the hard way, you'll quickly learn another route, which will be an easier way to get things done. Number two, you must have energy. So E in bet is for energy. Get excited about change. Get excited about whatever it is that you are planning to do. Get excited about growth. Get excited about believing in yourself. Because you can't be sad and grumpy if you want to start a business. You can't be sad and grumpy if you want to be in leadership. You can't be sad and grumpy if you want clients to come to you. That's what you're doing. Get excited about it. And once you get excited, other people will get excited about it. It's just like this. If you have children, and we all remember, whether it's children or grandchildren, when they take that first step, they are so excited because they're making movement. And that's what I want you to think about as you're starting to get excited about the changes that you want to make in your life. It's like taking that first baby step. You're so excited, you can do it. And if you make the first step, you can make the second one. So I want you to think that way about yourself as you start to make changes. And then T is for taking action. Taking action. Oftentimes, we as women, sometimes we have so much going on. We create so many different plans for ourselves because we're helping everybody else get their stuff done that we don't have time to take action on the things that we need to do for ourselves. And so today, I want you to take time and to take action on the things that are important to you. So people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. So today is the first day of you planning to succeed and not planning to fail. 3 pictures of me, yes. This is me living my best life, meeting individuals um, outside of and at a conference that I didn't think I'd have an opportunity to do. The one in the middle is presenting to a group of 300 individuals in the state of California here in the US. I never thought that was possible for me. Small town girl from Virginia living on a farm. Never thought that was possible. But I show this to you, not to brag or to boast, but I show this to you to know for you that this too is possible. If I can do it, so can you. It's one step at a time. You can get the job done. So, what I want you to do right now, I'm sure you all have some paper in front of you. Just take out 3 sheets of paper. And on each sheet of paper, I want you to write 3 simple questions. On sheet number 1, I want you to write this question: how is my life right now? How is my life right now? Are you happy with the way things are? Are you in a position to where you want to be? Right, how is your life right now? On the second sheet of paper, question number 2, I want you to write this down and answer it. How would I like my life to be? How would I like my life to be? What is that for you? Is that going back to college to further your education? Is that starting a business for you? Is that early retirement from your 9 to 5? Is that going to the next ladder of leadership in your 9 to 5? Is that for you? Starting your own business? Maybe just retiring and volunteering in your community. So, how is your life right now? The third sheet of paper. What am I willing to give up to get to where I want to be? What are you willing to give up to get to where you want to be? That could be friends. For some of you, it may be family that may not believe in you. Whatever that is, bad habits, procrastination, self doubt, limiting beliefs. What are you willing to give up to get to where you want to be so that you can live your best life? What is it for you? It was fear for me. It was limiting beliefs for me. No, I'm not saying that some days I'm not fearful, because some days I am, but I don't let it hold me back. I acknowledge it and then I move on. So if you answer those three questions, and once you've done that, place them someplace with your goals, maybe someplace that you can go and remind yourself of that when you're struggling in a situation. When you hear that negative Nancy in your ear saying, you can't do that. Why are you thinking that way? Think about these three questions and it will help you move forward. So, together, we can move you in the right direction towards your next step. Please join my mailing list at www.lindajordon.com. Or if you have the capability to send me a text the word ACTION action to 919-351-6898, and I will send you the full complete set of the 5-step formula to bossing up and taking charge of your life. Or feel free to email me at linda@lrj-consulting.com. My goal is to help you eliminate fears, eliminate excuses, so that you can live your best life. Live the life that you deserve, not the life you think you should have. Live the life you deserve and live it to your fullest potential, because tomorrow is not promised. My name is Dr. Linda Jordon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Linda Jordan. You really got a very good comments. If you see the messages, so you got, can you see the messages from Elizabeth?
Yes.
Yes, so yeah, you can reply to them. It's really, yes, it's really a great talk today, for the day one conference. And this is you're the last speaker for the day one conference, ending with a very good note. Um, so the start is also it's very good, and the ending is also ending with a very good note. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
it's really awesome. So here is a question from audience. So what you do when you do not understand a skill or anything, or a concept you are learning? So what? So how we will manage, and so how we will tackle that situation?
If I'm having to learn a skill that I don't know.
No, no, no. So when you do not understand a skill, okay, or a concept, yes,
Uh-huh.
while you are learning, so so how we will do that?
Sure, great question. When I'm trying to learn a skill that I don't know, the first thing that hear some echo. I'm not sure what it is. But the first thing I do is I go to an individual or find someone who is an expert in that skill. And then I try to learn as much as I possibly can, because my goal is to make sure that I understand it thoroughly. And then I go to individuals who know more than I do. So, networking is very important. And when you surround yourself with like minded individuals, it helps you to learn even more. And individuals will help you put you in the right direction. So, for an example, when I was learning about real estate investing, I knew absolutely nothing. But I started going to those different meetings about real estate, started connecting with individuals, invite them out for coffee or lunch, and just start talking about what's happening in that space. And that's how I really became I'm very proficient in that, learning that knowledge and learning that skill set. So that's what I would tell individuals is that, get out of that comfort zone, go up to people, say, hey, I see that you do something. I want to learn more about that. How can I do it? And you've got to communicate what you really want so that others can help you be successful and learn that skill set. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. It's really well answered.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda, for the rocking performance and the great energy today for the day one event. So yes,
Awesome.
yes, as I told you, the last speaker. Yes, you are the last speaker for the day one event, but we have played one speaker, Margie, as she is not in person. So we are, due to some network issues, we are unable to play the video properly. So we are playing again. So
Okay.
just yeah, so that will be the last for this day one event. Thank you so much for all the wonderful ladies from all over the world who have participated for this conference and made this event successful.
Awesome.
Thank you and have a wonderful day. Lots of love. Bye bye.
Bye bye.